everybody. Welcome back to the Ruined Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Astro, with my other host, Mars.
Hello there.
And today we have a very interesting topic to talk about.
Yes.
But before we get into that, how are you?
I'm good. Right now, I'm just kind of curious, about how the summer is going to be. I'm really worried about the bugs.
Yeah, I feel like mosquitoes are at an all-time high. I feel like they felt us trying to get rid of them, and they said, "Oh, absolutely not, girl."
No, seriously. During the winter, I was begging summer to come. I forgot about the bugs because in the winter there are really no bugs. They kind of go away.
Yeah.
So I forgot that they were a problem. When spring came around and those bugs came crawling out their hidey holes, I was like, you know what? Winter, come back.
I'm like, you know what? I would like some cooler weather right now. You know what? I kind of don't want gnats all in my hair.
Yeah.
This afro not gonna have gnats in it. I just can't deal with it.
Absolutely not.
And I absolutely, I hate the heat of summer. I think I said that before.
Yeah.
But I will repeat it until the day I die. I do not like heat.
It's mainly the heat and one or the other. Heat or bugs, not both. I can't deal with both.
No, absolutely not.
I choose cold. But how have you been?
I've been good. So far this year, I created, I don't know if I told you this, but I created a vision board. And actually, if you actually open my iPad, you could see it as the background. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the things on the vision board was to watch a lot of anime, and that's what I've been doing.
Yes.
So far I watched To Your Eternity. I watched the second season of Jujutsu Kaisen. I watched all of Dr. Stone up to the third season. They're gonna have a fourth season coming out, I think, next year. I watched all of Akudama Drive. They're pronounced some Akidamas. I don't care. It's Akudama to me. I watched all of Fruit Basket. I watched what else did I watch? I watched a lot of anime, I should say. I also watched Castlevania. That's not an anime, but I watched it, the Nocturne one.
Yeah, I could not hear. It's so weird. I watched it. A lot of it takes place in Saint-Domingue, which is modern day Haiti, which is where my parents are from, my dad. So it hit too close to home. I didn't like seeing that. This is so weird, but I didn't like seeing that. Basically, the most prosperous time for my country was when they were enslaved.
It's kind of, that is kind of heartbreaking. Not even kind of, that is heartbreaking.
So I saw the way they portrayed Saint-Domingue, and it was a really, really rich colony when it was under the French occupation. And now it's not.
Obviously, that's due to, French people saying, F y'all.
It's really sad.
Because y'all wanted to be independent. Doing some heinous crap.
Haiti is not in a good place right now, but hopefully it gets better. But
it is going to get better.
When it was Saint-Domingue, it was very prosperous for the white people. It was very prosperous, very rich.
Yeah, I would say for a brief review, if I have to say, I still like the original Castlevania better.
Yeah.
And that's just because I like the characters in the original Castlevania a lot better than I did the Castlevania Nocturne. And I like them better because I feel like I like their dynamic a lot better than I liked in Nocturne.
I did hate the way Castlevania ended.
I did hate how it ended too. Wait, I don't remember how it ended.
They fought death.
Oh yeah, they did fight death. That was kind of out of pocket.
It came out of nowhere.
I was like, what?
It came out. I was so confused.
I was very confused.
There was no build up. There was hardly any build up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that was interesting.
I expected them to fight no. If it ended with that man trying to bring back Dracula, I feel like it would have been perfect. But it didn't. They fought death.
They did, and that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I still liked. I would say I kind of like Nocturne for what it is. The only thing I would say is I didn't like the characters that much, except for the Marie. That was her name.
I don't remember.
The black girl.
I liked her.
Yeah, I liked her. And then I liked the mother. And then I did not like the main guy. I think his name is not Trevor. It's something else.
No, it is Trevor.
No.
It's when Trevor was a boy.
No, and what is it? In the original Castlevania, it was Trevor.
No, and Trevor Nocturne. In
Nocturne, that's not his name. It's Richter.
Oh, I'm telling you, that's Trevor.
That's not Trevor.
It is Trevor. I know it's Trevor. When he was a boy, I'm telling you, it's Trevor.
It's not Trevor. His name is Richter.
Give me 10 seconds.
Long story short, he was wrong.
Wow. Wow, I hope you know I'm gonna edit that out.
So you gonna edit that out, but not me singing?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I'm glad that we recognize our dynamic. Long story short, we're moving on.
Anyway, so yeah, I've been watching a lot of anime. I've been enjoying it. Currently, I'm watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and this is my first time watching it. Nobody spoil it in the comment section, because if you do, I'm going to fight you. I'm on episode 11, so I already know what happened with the girl and the dog. I already know who passed on, and I cried. I did cry. So that's beside the point, but that's where I'm currently on. And then after that, I'm gonna go to Classroom of the Elite season 3, and I think that's it on my anime journey. But that's what I've been doing, watching anime.
It's good. Well, today's topic is it's one that, well, obviously you read the title, so you know what's happening. But it's a TikTok ban in the United States.
Full disclaimer, we don't really research any of these.
Yeah, so this is all our opinion
and feelings and thoughts and what we know so far, or what we can gather in our mind.
Yeah, so if you're coming here for like an explanation, I can't really give you a full in-depth one. I can give you what I remember, but don't quote me on anything.
Yeah, and don't, like, sometimes in the recordings you hear me say, I don't particularly remember the name, don't particularly remember this, because I don't. I have a really bad memory. I try my best, though.
Full disclaimer, do not quote me on anything. If I see
don't quote me either.
If I see any quotation marks, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, but this is just what we know off the top of our heads, or what we read before we came on here.
And how we feel about it. We're just expressing our opinion.
Yeah.
And everyone has the right to their own opinion, and then let's get into it. So I think pretty much everyone knows about the TikTok ban, and it's been pretty publicized. Before we get into any specifics, how do you feel about it?
So TikTok is a platform that I use to post things on. Like, I post builds and stuff like that. Like, I built like 3 Hello Kitty things. I didn't post a third one yet, but I built like 3 Hello Kitty things. I built like a SpongeBob thing, and I post it. It's just for fun, but I actually do not use TikTok a lot. Mm-hmm. This is me personally. I go on there for like 5 seconds and I'm off. I normally am on Instagram Reels, which kind of shows my age, but like, that's where I'm at, because normally TikToks are on Instagram too, so I could, you could watch either or. But I don't like the ban because there are a lot of young people who love using the app.
Yes,
and the app does hold. It's sorry to say, but it does hold a lot of information. Yeah, that a lot of people can get in such a short amount of time.
Yeah. Also, I feel like a lot of people make their livelihoods off of TikTok. Like, TikTok doesn't pay as much as, like, say, YouTube in like per viewer count, but there are a lot of affiliate marketing stuff that people use on TikTok that give them a lot of income, and cutting that off is very cruel, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like because people have, and on TikTok you can kind of grow really fast. Once you hit that like market or hit that demographic, you can kind of grow very fast on that platform. It's one of the platforms that have the better algorithm versus YouTube, who has very crappy algorithm. Like, it's very, very not rare, but it's much harder to hit a certain market or to really, really grow unless you've been on the platform like 10 years. There are some people who are outliers of the problem that can grow 1 million subscribers maybe in a day, because I've heard of that before, and I've seen it actually happen before.
But it's rare.
But it's very, very rare.
It's definitely the exception.
So like, I feel like out of all the social media platforms, even Instagram, it has the better of algorithms.
Yeah. Also, TikTok is really good at like connecting people, forming communities, and spreading information, which in my opinion, I feel like that's one of the reasons why the US is trying to ban it, to stop the spread of information.
Yeah, because a lot of people can become less ignorant when it comes to apps like TikTok. Even, like, it's sad to say, because I hate this platform, Twitter, people can even become less ignorant on there because you're getting information. Like, a lot of people get their news from Twitter.
I would advise against doing that, actually.
I would advise against doing that. But like, when things are trending, you kind of, it's more like pop culture news rather than other news, I would say. Like, I would have never known a lot of things in pop culture. I would have never known had it not been for Twitter. Like, I'm normally in the dark about a lot of things because I just generally just don't care. But like, for example, I would not have known that Nicki Minaj got arrested in Amsterdam because she had weed. So you didn't know?
No.
So basically what had happened was they found weed in Amsterdam. They found weed, I believe it was in Amsterdam, but they found weed in Nicki Minaj's suitcase, and she said, "That's not mine. That's my security."
Not her throwing her security under the bus like that.
They arrested her, and then people. I think she was on her way to the UK leg of her tour. I'm not 100% sure, but the UK bars were chanting "Free Nicki, free." Basically, they were like, "Free her. She got a show here," even though she's been late for a lot of her shows. But like, "Free her. She got a show here." And I was like, yo, that's insane that she was just arrested and then thrown into jail, girl.
Well, that's insane.
I was like, but yeah, I would have never known that had it not been for Twitter.
See, I'm not on Twitter.
So you wouldn't have known that.
Yeah,
or the Shade Room, because even though I don't like the Shade Room.
What is that?
The Shade Room, you don't know? That's like I think it was owned by a Nigerian woman.
Don't know what that is.
It's a black-owned news type of page.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like TMZ, but made by black people, and they basically post a bunch of news, which they do a lot of, I think they do a lot of research in terms of their news, but they do talk about a lot of pop culture moments. They do talk a lot about people in certain celebrities and stuff like that, other news and stuff. So that's what the Shade Room is. Has a bunch of followers and stuff like that. Like if you ever see headlines where it has just the headlines and it's like a white box and it has like a little bit of red something in the corner, I'm pretty sure you've seen this before.
I have not. But anyway, back to TikTok. So yeah, I was gonna say something else. I just feel like, again, also another problem I feel like is why TikTok is being banned is because it's not a US owned company, it's owned by a Chinese company.
100%.
And I feel like that's definitely a reason why it's being banned here, because one of the main arguments for why they want to ban TikTok is because of the sale of information. And here's my take. All right, privacy is a foreign concept nowadays. Okay,
100%.
Everyone is aware that your data is being sold.
Yeah, we don't care, bro.
Yeah, like, okay, take my data. All right, I can't do anything about it. So even without argument, Instagram and Meta, like specifically the company that owns Instagram, should be under fire as well and get on being banned, because they are notorious, even Google, notorious for selling your people's information. And I know that if TikTok was American owned, then it wouldn't be as big of an issue.
Yeah, because a lot of American owned companies do the same thing TikTok do. Take our information and sell it to third parties and stuff like that. They do that all the time.
Yeah, here's the thing. If the app is free, then you are the product, right? If they're not charging you, then you are the product. That's how it works, unfortunately. Now, this isn't like a political statement, so like, take it how you will, but that's just how I feel. Interestingly, I wanted to bring this up. I do believe that France actually did ban TikTok, and
which is interesting. I did not know this until they told me. So
yeah, so I'm not sure if it's banned in mainland France, but I do know it's banned in their, I think they're called departments. It's basically their equivalent of territories. Here's what's happening. This is from what I remember. Okay, guys, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's in the news. Okay, one of their overseas departments, New Caledonia, it's in Oceania. Yeah, it's New Caledonia. They're having issues because, let me see. Basically, the native population and the European population are like at odds, because the European population has more money and stuff, and the natives feel like their votes are being undermined and stuff by the Europeans, and yeah, they're at odds. If you want more information on this topic, I recommend going to this channel called TLDR News. I love them. They link all their sources and everything, and that's where I learned this from. They're on YouTube. Just look them up. Really great channel. But yeah, that's what's happening, and they banned TikTok. And I found that to be interesting because it kind of proves my point that people don't like the spread of information, because people were using TikTok to talk about what's happening in New Caledonia and other French overseas departments, and it was interesting. Knock knock.
I know, I'm just sorry. Apparently TikTok is also banned in India.
Yeah, I knew that.
I did not know that either.
You know that?
No.
I'm not sure why it's banned in
I think
India.
because of they said something about the simmering conflict between India and China. They said they banned TikTok along with 58 other Chinese apps after a simmering conflict between India and China flared into violence at their border. A popular form of entertainment, which had not been the subject of political debate, vanished overnight.
Interesting.
So, there are a bunch of. I thought we were the only.
No.
Country
We're far from the only ones.
I just thought we were just special in the head, but like
we're actually late to the party.
You know, we kind of late. Everyone doing it.
Yeah. There are several other countries that have banned TikTok for like government officials and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, this is really funny. China has banned TikTok.
That is pretty funny.
Okay, it's really funny. Here's the reason. TikTok has their own Chinese version. It's called Douyin, something like that. Forgive my pronunciation. I do not speak Mandarin, but I believe it's called Douyin, something like that. And if it focuses more on educational content, and they believe the CCP believes that TikTok is just too distracting for their population, so they have Douyin, which is more educational based. Very interesting. I found it to be really interesting.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
that is very interesting. I guess it makes sense. Oh no, I think I did hear about this that they banned it in China.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's very interesting because I do kind of think that TikTok is very distracting for younger people.
It is.
Because even with me, I'm not a teenager or anything, but when I did go on TikTok, I would notice that my attention span is short. My attention span is shorter already, but it was even shorter when I was on TikTok, and I could see how it could affect children mentally, which is why I feel like people should just put that on the parents to limit screen time for children.
I agree.
Or like children, especially if you're a teenager, I feel like you have much more of a say in what you should do with yourself in terms of the platform. This if they want to. If you don't want to, you should have the choice to not to. But like I feel like as a teenager, depending on, because like a lot of teenagers probably won't take it lightly if their parents tell them, okay, screen time is like this time.
Well, no, here's the thing, because I know on iPhone and these other apps you can get on other devices, you can just put it in like the screen time and the screen will just lock. All right, like here's the thing with me. I agree that like it's definitely damaging towards younger children.
Mm-hmm.
That is on you as a parent.
That is on
you.
Do
not put that on other people. Do not put that. It's not the government's problem. It is you. All right, you need to stop being. Forgive me. You need to stop being lazy with your parenting and take control of your own child and take responsibility for what your child does, because it's your house and it's your device that you're paying for. You could just cut it off. All right. If you're not gonna do that, then don't give your child a phone, or just work on it on your own in your own household. Don't complain to the government to ban it when it's your responsibility as a parent. Okay, that's my take.
My take is like I do believe that it is responsible to parent, and I understand parents out there, you go through a lot with children and toddlers and stuff like that, and you just want them out your hair, so you give them the devices in order to get them out your hair. But I do think that parents should be more proactive in terms of how much screen time should a child get.
Yeah.
I do think it is on the parents to set those limits. Just like when parents complain online saying, oh, why is all this, inappropriate stuff online, my children are watching this. It kind of irks me because I'm just like, why should the rest of us suffer because you got kids?
Exactly. Watch your kids.
Like, if I want to see some booty shake, I should be able to see some booty shake, girl.
Not the booty shake.
Like, I should be able to see that. But like, a lot of parents complain online saying these platforms are becoming more, even though a lot of platforms will ban certain things or not push certain things on algorithm because they know that kids like a lot of apps already have safe spaces for kids, or they make it more safer for kids because they will not push it more out in the algorithm depending on how inappropriate it is. Some will be flagged and say, okay, we can only show it to this amount of viewers or something like that. So it's not like the apps aren't doing their part for the most part. Like even YouTube, they have their own separate sector for children.
Yes.
Netflix has its own separate section for children.
Exactly.
These platforms, I think that TikTok and Instagram and what else people use nowadays? TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I don't think no kid will be on Twitter, but TikTok and Instagram, do I think that they should have a separate section for kids? Yeah, I do think they should, but also they don't push things that are inappropriate. So
Yeah, and just watch your kids. Like, if you don't want your kids seeing that, don't let them download TikTok.
Exactly. I'm just like, they're doing the best they can with what they got.
Right.
And if you, it's kind of like a 50-50 thing. If you're not putting in the effort in making sure what you're monitoring your children, especially if they're mad young, I feel like once they hit like that teenagehood, you really can't really monitor them.
Yeah,
as
I've been seeing like young kids online,
like mad young kids.
You need to get control of your child, because there's no reason why they should be chronically online at the age of 10.
At the age of 10, and that leads to a lot of them being influenced by influencers, which should be our it's going to be our next episode topic, by the way, just a hint. But like I think a lot of people should start monitoring, obviously, how much time your kids are on these platforms and what they're watching.
I totally agree.
Like, if it means that you have to go on their devices and curate their own thing, like literally you just watch kids things, and then make sure it's curated to them, like little children and stuff like that, then do so.
Now, I will warn you, once your child hits like the teenage years, if you go looking for something, you're gonna find it. I will warn you, you're gonna find it.
But like, it's inevitable. Because kids are gonna do what they're gonna do, especially in those teenage years. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. But at least as like they're growing up, like as toddlers and stuff like that, we can limit and try to help them become more responsible online and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, one bone to pick I do have with TikTok is they have terrible customer service. It's awful. I was following this creator, I think his name was Connor, and what happened was there was someone who posted, this is really scary, posted an AI generated video of him promoting Shein, and it wasn't him, but it looked just like him, and people were like going to Shein because the video promoted it and he thought it was him. So he discovered it and he reported to TikTok, and like, TikTok, take it down, this isn't me, this is slander, right? And TikTok refused to take it down, but they got mad at him for telling his audience to mass report the video because it's not him, it's someone impersonating him. So he was like, this person can impersonate me and get away with it, but I can't mass report them for impersonating me. That got me upset, because it's like, TikTok, get on your game. What are you doing?
I would say a lot of these social media platforms, most of them don't really have good customer service. Like, that's wild. But also YouTube doesn't have really good.
Oh my god, it's awful. It's awful over here.
At least like something for their creators and stuff like that. Like, they don't have anyone to report to.
Like, I've heard their copyright system is very, very flawed.
I heard that too, and I also heard like I've seen examples of people who had their channels erased, and it took a lot for them to get it back.
Yeah, also getting your channel hacked is a really severe threat.
It's a severe threat, and there's a huge chance that you will not get that channel back.
Or if you do, all your videos will be gone.
Yeah, because it's sad because for example, I was following these girls. They were trying to break the Guinness World Record of longest distance traveled by toy car, and they have a YouTube channel. One of the girls have a YouTube channel, and a lot of stuff happened. Like, first of all, Guinness decided to like not count their record because you have to pay. I didn't know this, but you have to pay to be in a Guinness World Record.
Oh,
you have to pay for it. Yeah, I call it Guinness.
It's not a J sound.
Anyway, so you have to pay to have Anyway, you have to pay to be in a Guinness World Record book.
You're still doing it.
So like, I didn't know that.
Where's the J coming from? No, I'm still on that. Where is the J coming from?
So I didn't know that, and I was like, so does that mean a lot of the records are false? Like, they have to really pay to be in there? So that was the first thing that happened to them. But the next thing that happened to them was that they got their YouTube channel taken down. They were at like 500,000 subscribers. Damn. And it was crazy because she was upset. And I was like, dang, everything is happening to you on this thing. Like, first what happened to them was like the car broke down,
That
and
must
for
suck.
the they had to actually work with Genesis and
Oh my god.
and set up the rules, because this is the first time this record was being attempted.
Mhm.
So they had to set up the rules. Basically, it was really strict rules. They had to take a picture of each time of where they were, each time they stopped.
Yeah.
They had to use a mile tracker, and the rule was like your car, the exterior of your car cannot change. Everything that you put on your car can be put on your car, but you cannot change it. Like, it cannot be damaged, cannot be broken. If you
Why?
do, you have to start the record over.
Why?
I don't really know why. That's just the rule that they put. But
Mhm.
they said if something happens to the outside of the car, you have to start the record over. If
Interesting.
something happened to the outside of the car the first time they tried to attempt it, and so they had to wait for new cars to come.
Wow.
So a lot of things has been happening to them, and they're doing this to raise money for. They loosely said raise money for animals. I forgot the charity that they're really like supporting, but it's just been a heartbreaking journey for them, because they worked really hard to get there, and then all this stuff happened, and now their YouTube channel is taken down. And just recently I saw that they were stopped by the cops, and the cops were like, hey, you can't drive that. But they've been I think they were at this point 300 miles in.
That must suck.
Yeah, or something like that. Maybe 100 or so miles in. I haven't checked up with them since their YouTube channel was taken down, but then I saw that their cops stopped them, and I was like, that's crazy. But
yeah,
a bunch of platforms have like terrible customer service, especially when it comes to their influencers.
Yeah, but yeah, the moral of the story is like these problems usually aren't exclusive to TikTok. So a lot of the arguments against TikTok, again, I'm not like, like saying I'm not like pro TikTok. I mean, I am, because I have like interest in the platform, because I have accounts, and I would prefer to have access to them, because it's fun, and TikTok has a really good reach. But
It does.
I'm not like sponsored by I wish I was sponsored by TikTok. Oh my god, but I'm not. Anyway, I'm just saying my opinion and our opinion on this. So everyone's opinion is valid. I just implore people to, like, before saying stuff like the whole data thing, or what we just went over, like, these problems aren't exclusive to TikTok.
Yeah.
So arguing that this is the reason why TikTok should be banned is flawed.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Especially since a bunch of platforms steal our information. They're probably stealing our information right now, bro.
Yeah. Do I care?
No.
Not really.
Like, if you sign up for a website, they stole your information.
Yeah.
If you sign up for like any social media platform, stole your information.
Yeah.
Anytime you're online, they're stealing your information.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you see an ad, they stole your information.
Yes, sir.
They're listening to you right now. They're
As we
listening to us
speak.
talk.
Yes.
Like, it might be like, it sounds like it's doomsday level, but that's what they're doing. And they know that we'll kind of make it normal, because they're just like, like, what can we do?
Now, if you don't want your information stolen, use our sponsor, ExpressVPN. I'm just kidding. I'm not sponsored.
But if you don't want your information stolen, pretty much you gotta be offline.
Yeah. Even using a VPN probably does help a lot. It does actually. I use a VPN. Not sponsored, so I'm not gonna tell you which one, but I do use a VPN, and it does help a little bit. But yeah, watch where you're going, guys. Be careful. And enjoy TikTok for the next 6 months before it gets banned.
I feel like the U.S. government is stupid, though. Not because of their banning it, but because of how they handle banning it.
Yeah.
It was so funny watching those court videos.
No, the senator interviewing that poor Filipino man.
I thought he was Singaporean.
He is Singaporean. My bad. I'm just as bad as him. I have an opinion on mine for a different reason. But okay, no, it was funny, but not funny.
It was tragic to watch, because it just proved to me that old people do not need to be in Congress.
No, because there should be an age limit. I am so serious.
Like, if you turn dusty crusty, you gotta get out.
I feel like 65 is as old as you should get, and that's pushing it.
And like, bro, like, if we have to retire at the age of 65, you should retire at the
They're
age
trying
of 65.
to raise the retirement age.
I know, they're trying to raise it to like 70 something, right?
Hell no. I will move.
I will move too.
I will move.
That would be the one time I'd be like, oh, peace.
That is my 13th reason right there. No, you're not making me work longer than I have to. I want my retirement.
You're trying to make me contribute to this society when the society don't contribute to me.
Right.
That's insane.
Anyway, I think I don't have any more to add to this, but do you?
I just have to add that if you go back and watch the court ones, I feel like America is like a reality TV show.
No, because it was so funny.
It was so funny.
The amount of times that man said he's not Chinese.
He's like, I'm not Chinese.
I'm Singaporean. Like he would be like, the senator was like, Do you support the Chinese Communist Party?
So I'm Singaporean.
Do you have a Chinese passport?
But I'm Singaporean.
Have you been to mainland China?
Hey, so have you ever heard of Singapore?
It was so insane.
Wait, what the? I'm like, y'all just okay. I'm like, this is just a comedy show at this point.
Oh my
If I
God.
was him, I would just start laughing like,
No, I couldn't. How's that?
like
man
y'all
keep it straight?
stupid. Y'all run this country. No offense. Like
How?
every offense, actually.
Yeah, it was funny but sad.
It was funny but sad. But that's all I have to add.
all I have
Just
to
watch
add.
those videos. I have a good laugh.
I had a good
And,
laugh too. That's why I
maybe-
love TikTok, because it makes me laugh.
Exactly. It makes me laugh too. It's such a fun platform to be on. Even though I don't use it as much, but I
Yeah.
see the reels. I'm just like, I'm pretty sure this is what TikTok is.
Yeah, TikTok is so funny. I implore you to go and just enjoy it while you can, if you live in America.
You know, if you're from America, you know it's about to be banned because
Or-
they already passed. I think
Yeah.
they passed it in the Senate, right?
It passed in the Senate. So what happened was it passed, and I think TikTok has around 6 months to sell to an American company, or they get banned. TikTok did try. I'm not sure what's going on right now, but I believe that they are trying to sue the government for
hear
violating the
that.
First Amendment.
Yeah.
So we'll
Which
see.
is
If,
interesting.
very interesting. So we'll see how that turns out. If anything updates, we might make a new video about this in a few months. So who knows?
Yeah, I find it crazy that they're trying to make themselves to American company, but
Right.
they have an American sector here.
They do, and it's weird. Yeah, it's really, the whole situation is very weird. I didn't even believe it was happening. Like when I first heard it, my friend told me about it. Didn't believe it,
I didn't believe it either because they
Because
talked
they-
about banning TikTok.
and they tried it in the
before,
past. Yeah, they tried it. It didn't
and
work.
everyone was like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah, so we'll see if it actually goes through this time. They've been trying for a while.
Yeah, now I feel like they're finally like, yeah, let's stop this, guys. I feel like we should have stopped it before, but let's
Yeah.
stop it now.
But that's all we have for today, I do believe. Thank you so much for watching this far into the video. If you have stayed, if you enjoyed today's if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and dare I say subscribe. We would appreciate your support so much. And yeah, that's all she wrote.
Yeah. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Womp womp.
Stop that.